Hello and welcome back to the 51st American Flying Disc Open presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm Emily Dale and I'm joined in the booth here with Ben Appel.
What's up? Super excited to be here.
We have another beautiful day out here at Parma Disc Golf Course. Make sure you catch our front nine on the Gatekeeper Media channel, but then don't forget to go to the Heiser Media channel to catch the back nine. We have another beautiful day here on Saturday, around 80 degrees. Slight wind, but otherwise amazing weather for Evan, Connor, Mason, and Ty Love to attack this course. We saw some amazing golf from Evan and Connor in our first round, so make sure you check that out if you didn't already, but excited to see what they have here for us today.
Evan Smith's coming off the hot round, leading the charge. Let's see if he can keep his momentum up and keep that putter hot that we saw in round one.
Hole 1 here at Parma is a 315-foot par 3. Like we mentioned in round 1, it's really just that either turnover or forehand shot. You just have to get through these guardian trees and you're probably going to end up with a slightly uphill putt with a tree in the way.
With a 12 under course record, Evan Smith.
So yep, here's Evan Smith. I'm not sure what disc that is that he's throwing, but he threw that a lot in round one. But
He threw it a lot, very well in round 1.
and like you said, Emily, you can see those flags at the bottom of the tee moving a little bit, so the wind is definitely here, and that might come into play on a lot of the more open holes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, round 1 was really pristine conditions, which we don't get too often, as though Evan is making it look perfect with that beautiful shot there. But just the wind was slightly up today, and like you said on those open holes, we'll see how that impacts the shots. Getting to see Connor rock again here. He did play when it was a Silver Series last year, and he is the highest rated returning player to this new format as an A tier.
Looks like he's going with the backhand turnover as well. I like this play. I think it filters into the hillside a little better than the forehand.
He does get the green flag. There is some OB to contend with that we saw some of the players snag, but it looks like he landed safe and he'll have one of those uphill putts.
And here's a new face to the coverage. We got Mason Marchbanks now, making his lead card appearance for this tournament. Let's see what he can do. Also electing to go with the backhand.
Unfortunately, he does snag one of those early trees. It'll be challenging to work with, but another new face here with Ty Love. Looks like our whole card is going with the backhand turnover approach. Like you said, it really is the shot shape that works the best with this hole.
Put it a little wide, but he misses that tree, so he'll have some kind of look at it. Like you said, some kind of uphill putt. This is what Mason has left to scramble for his par. Doesn't look too difficult, just gotta get it up there, settle nicely next to the pin.
It looks like he didn't trust the height enough. It is safe. It didn't trickle too far down the hill, but he'll still have one of those uphill putts to save his par.
Yeah, that low ceiling right there kept Ty too low, couldn't quite get the height on the putt, but he'll have a nice stress-free par. Ooh. Connor
Just low for Connor, but thankfully it's settled.
Yeah, this hill can get tricky real quick.
Fortunately, coming up a little bit short there for Mason, and this is what Evan has for his birdie putt. And there was never a doubt. His putter stayed hot.
Putter is still hot. That's a great birdie to pick up. Hole average slightly above par. only 19% of the field getting the birdie, so Evan is in a small group of only 10 players, so good on him.
Hole 2, we have a 310-foot par 3. A lot of trees. A lot of trees, a lot of things to hit, but if you stay in the main part of the fairway, you should be able to get to the basket, and it should be an easy par save even if you hit something fairly early. There are a lot of gaps in this hole, while it does look heavily wooded.
Yeah, here we see Evan going for the forehand line. This is a little on the less side. Not as many people do that, but he seems to have caught an early tree. But this fairway is just so tight, so easy to catch a tree and have to scramble for your par. Here we see Connor going with the backhand, little hyzer flip, just hoping to get through all the trees.
Looks like it might have snagged one of those last trees, but you might have an interesting look at it.
Ty Love here
We did
throwing
mention,
a little more direct at it, gets caught up.
and there is OB directly behind this basket, so that's something else to think about on this tee shot. When you have all these trees in front of you, there are those OB markers, probably within 15 or 20 feet just behind the basket.
Mason
Mason
seems
taking a higher route, but not terrible.
seems to be in a similar kind of spot as Connor. Maybe like a C2 look that they can give it a bid if they want to challenge the OP behind it. But Evan's got a pretty standard upshot here to save his par.
Beautiful upshot there.
A little too much hyzer, but it catches that tree and he's just fine. Should have no problem making that cleanup putt.
Yeah, these circle 2-ish putts are definitely a challenge here, as we see Connor going for another little soft Anheuser bid. Happy to take his par though and get out of here.
Yeah, this hole averaged barely above par, so not a lot of birdies, but not a lot of bogeys either. Pretty easy to scramble your way to a par. There's Evan cleaning up his par.
Mm-hmm. You can see that OB line just beyond the basket there where Connor's standing. It has those logs to keep you from scuttling out, but it comes into play very quickly if you have a really clean drive or upshot as well.
Let's hope Ty can fix that putter for the rest of the round. Make an adjustment.
Heading into hole 3, we have our par 3, 440 feet. Players really want to throw something just to get out of this gap and avoid the little grove of trees and stay out of the jail, the Parma jail, the dungeon on the left-hand side there of the fairway.
Yeah, this hole's a toughie, averaging almost half a stroke above par. I think we only saw in round 1 we saw one of the feature card guys get to C2, and the rest were scrambling for their pars.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenging birdie, as we can see
Not
here.
for Evan apparently. I think he like parked. That's insane. What a
Evan just
great
makes us
shot.
eat our words.
I feel like they're going to be doing that a lot this round.
That's fair. We'll take it.
Hey, I'm always down to be impressed.
This is looking 2 here from Connor. Really smooth release. And that gets him up in the C1 as well.
Yeah.
Great shots. They're proving us wrong here.
Yeah, they're figuring this hole out. It really is just a pushing hyzer. It's just such a demanding gap to hit. So if you miss it, it's a tough scramble. But if you hit the gap, I mean, it's only 440 feet. Most of these guys can probably get that pretty easily. Also,
And that
very good.
this did, despite what we're seeing here, play as the 3rd most difficult hole on the round today.
I guess the lead card didn't get that memo.
Unfortunately, Ty did grab one of those guardian trees there.
But he kicked
No
out.
good.
He kicked out to the edge of the fairway, so he'll have looks like a flex forehand. Hopefully, get up and down for an easy scramble. This kind of shot's hard enough, and then when all 3 of your lead card competitors are in C1 for birdie, it just adds to the pressure.
Really well executed there.
Yeah, well done by Ty there.
Mason will be up first to see if he can snag a birdie on this hole. Good bid, right off the top.
Yep, just a touch high. Ooh, it looks like it skipped kind of far back there, but he should be able to make that no problem. Here's Connor also going for his birdie. Maybe a foot or 2 closer than Mason was.
There it is.
Yep.
Let's go.
Well done. Well done.
Great putt there for Connor.
This is one of those putts that you're going to see what kind of round it's going to be. Are you going to be scrambling for par? Or are you going to be not as confident? But that is a great scramble from Ty there.
I think they're close.
Yep. Dead center. We'll take it.
If he keeps that up, he'll have a pretty good round. Look at this putt
And
from Evan.
Evan has his little tap in there for birdie. And we got to see 2 out of the 4 birdies here on the day. Shout out to Random Lotta and Zachary Nash for snagging the other 2 birdies on this hole, but really great job here on our lead card for round 2. Checking in, we have our leaderboard for the first 3 holes. Evan Smith still taking charge. We see Connor Rock close behind him. As we head into hole number 4, the first par 4 of the day, 815 feet. We saw this one trip up some of our players in round 1. And once again, it did play was one of the more challenging holes, coming in at number 4 for the hardest.
Yeah, the real danger on this hole is tee shot doesn't exactly have a gap, but there are those trees that just kind of get in your head. And if you think about them too long, they could mess up your shot a little bit. But this is probably the first open hole where the wind might come into play on today's round, so we'll see if that changes their play. But Evan just smokes this one.
Yeah, you're going to see him calling for it to come back. He's going to have some awkward footing potentially with that tree right by his lie, but we'll see how he can navigate that. Based on what we've seen, he's an expert at tackling those shots.
Connor gets this one a little too low, but that's going to be a great spot in between the trees there. So he's got plenty of footwork and swing room to kind of do whatever shot he wants to into the green.
Absolutely. good kick back out. Keep him away from those little trees. It should give him a better shot for his approach into the basket, hopefully.
Here comes Ty. Big run up. Hyzer flip.
Left of him.
And that's going to be challenging that left side.
Short.
Mm-hmm.
No real danger over there, just more trees. So you kind of like to avoid that side if at all possible. But all in all, not a bad tee shot. Looking like Mason's the farthest out.
Nice.
He pulls
Little-
this just a little bit.
Really, really nice.
I'm not sure if that's going to have enough fight back. Hopefully he has enough of a look for a little chip shot to save par.
And there's Connor using all that run-up space that he has. Throwing a nice little turnover here.
This is looking pretty.
A lot of ground
looks
play
like-
there.
Yeah, it'll be edge of circle 1, maybe C2. But you should give him a look. You see the flags over there on the left-hand side. We do have some OB on the left-hand side of this fairway to separate our fairways. See if that comes into play for any of these folks as they take the hyzer approach into the basket. Whew,
Ooh, good tree
good
there.
tree. And here's that awkward footing from Evan. It doesn't seem to phase him at all, though.
It looked like he just had to kind of condense his body a little bit on his pull through, but he got the throw off and put himself in putting range, which we know how much he likes those putts. Well, I don't know if he likes them. He just makes them a lot, so
He's just good at them.
yeah. Standard little chip forehand up for Mason. He'll take his par. And with this one averaging above par as well, it's not a bad hole to take a par on.
Absolutely. This is rock for birdie. Cans it. Let's go.
Dead center, on the stripe. He's trying to
Nice
chase down Evan Smith.
He has him in the sights. Let's see if Evan can match it. And he does. Of course. Great putt there. We did have 3 birdies on the day. Evan Smith and Connor Rock, joined by Silas Schultz.
Yeah, Ty's putting is just a little off. Hopefully he can correct it quickly because 18 holes is a little too long to have a putt that's off by just a little bit. So, really rooting for him
Yeah.
to figure it out.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that gets into your head, especially if it's early in the round. You're on the lead card. A big event like the American Flying Disc Open. Oof.
Shake that one off, Ty. Come on. Can't let it linger in your mind too much. But I'm sure he'll get back on his horse and he'll be all right.
Good little cleanup there from Mason. And Ty just getting out of there. Heading into hole 5, we have a 605-foot par 4. Once again, we have the Parma Dungeon. The left-hand side, although we did see our round 1, make sure you go back and check it out to see Jerry find the wormhole through those woods. But other players are really just trying to take 2 big hyzer shots here, stay clean, and take that skip shot into the basket for birdie.
Yeah, the real danger is, like you said, that left wood line can be quite brutal if you kick inside of it. So this initial gap is probably 300 off their hand, so they got to make sure they choose a disc that's going to stay flat the entire time, or really control the hyzer angle, whatever shot shape they're trying to make. Looks like we got a little turnover here from Evan. That's like the safer kind of shot shape, and he nails that one. That one's crushed.
And he has a straight shot right at the basket to snag his birdie. What a beautiful execution.
Let's see if Connor goes turnover as well, if he's going to try like a pushing hyzer. Well, I think he was trying to turn over as well. He just turned it a little too much. But he should have something he can work with to hopefully get up and down for his birdie. Or at worst, a par. Mason throws a beaut here. That's really nice. A little left, kind of pinched off, but he can have a little skip shot with something overstable and give
Absolutely.
himself a birdie putt.
Let's see if Ty can shake it off. This drive is looking beautiful. If it stays clean, and it does. Great shot.
I'm just impressed with how fast that flipped up. Out of his hand, I thought it was too much hyzer, but that flipped up really fast and just rode dead straight. What a shot. And I guess I was wrong. Connor does not have a shot.
Jail. He just wants to pitch out and try to save the par.
Yeah, that's smart golf right there. Not trying to try anything crazy when you know you don't have to.
Unfortunately, it looks like it was a little bit inside. I don't think he'll have gotten all the way up to the basket. Might have a circle 2-ish look, but we'll see what he has when he gets there. And this is what Evan is left with for his upshot for snagging a birdie. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, well done. That hole was played to perfection. Yep, and here's Ty after that laser beam of a tee shot. He's just got a little skip shot here.
Great snap out of the hand as it
Curl, yeah.
gets all the way up into the bullseye.
What a shot. Good bounce back. Is Mason going roller here?
Looks like he's going forehand turnover, potentially. Maybe roller. Time will tell.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm excited for whatever it is. Love these types of shots. Ooh.
Ooh, it looks like he was going for the turnover, didn't quite get it to turn enough.
Yeah, that's just such a scary shot to do because you turn too much, it just cut rolls and isn't a very good shot. But Connor leaving it a little short. Long bid from Mason. Ooh, ho, ho, ho.
That looked good. One of the
was-
things that we mentioned in round one is that we love the flexibility that it forces in our players, both in their body with stretching out, but also in their game.
I think this is like Connor's like third or fourth straddle putt already, and it's the fifth hole. So
That's all you need to know.
That tells you what the greens are like here.
Just a bit off.
Little frustration there. He wanted to get up and down from where he was, but here's Evan with his birdie putt, dead center, never a doubt. I don't know, Emily. Evan's doing some good work right now.
He's making Parma look like it's his course. Love the confidence. You aren't seeing him make many mistakes out here, and it's super fun to watch. Heading into hole 6, we have a 364-foot par 3. We saw a lot of our players taking the big forehand spike hyzer into the pin. We did see a couple of the players trying to go backhand straight at it. We'll see what our lead card does today. Looks like the wind's down a little bit. We saw some of the wind picking up on hole 1. The flags look a little bit calm back here.
Yeah, at only at 360, most of these guys can just do like a sky forehand, kind of like that, and they're just trying to dunk it into the basket. But this seems to have gotten away from him a little bit. Maybe a C2 look.
Yeah, you saw his body language. He did not like it out of his hand, but as you mentioned, he should still have a look, and as we've seen, a look for Evan is usually make for Evan.
Here's Ty Love. He's throwing the turnover line, and this is looking beautiful.
Ooh, that is pretty. I wanted to see that turnover line, and I love that. Ty Love.
There you go. You can kind of see the trees moving in the background there. There's a little bit of wind out there yet. I wonder if they don't feel it on the tee. Maybe it might affect their shots later in the flight.
This is looking like another well-executed backhand. It does get a little bit high and snag some of those guardian trees, but he should have a straddle putt there from C2.
That basket is well placed. There's trees just far enough away that it doesn't seem like it's blocking any kind of like circle 1 putts, but they're going to block a lot of tee shots, so making this hole a little tricky, but overall it's still played below par, so this kind of feels like one you want to get.
Can it fight through? Looks like maybe edge of C1. Nice shot shape, but like I said, like you mentioned, it just grabs those branches.
Good bid from Mason there. Yep, looks like Evan has a long C2 look. No way.
Are we surprised?
I'm a little surprised, but I don't know, I shouldn't be. That was dead center.
Beautiful putt. Nice job, Evan. This hole did play as one of the easier holes on the day, coming into the 16th hardest hole. We also did have an ace on this hole by Ian Kitchen. Shout out to Ian for snagging an ace.
I want to know if it was a turnover or a forehand.
Let us know in the comments.
I gotta know. That's a cool ace. But no, what is good putt there by Ty. Good adjustment after the last couple putts. But how does Connor feel when Evan's just making everything? How do you catch someone who's making every putt?
Yeah, it's definitely playing with the mental game side of things for sure.
Let's see if Connor can really buckle down and just keep the pedal to the metal and, you know, hope for Evan to make a mistake eventually, and then he'll be there to capitalize. But that's not how you want to do that.
Yeah, you see the frustration. Definitely work its way, and hope we can shake that off as we head into hole number 7. We do have a little check-in here through 6 holes in round 2. Evan Smith just shredding out there, 5 down. Absolutely
Crazy.
Just pedal to the metal. Hole 7, par 4, 568 feet. We do have some OB here on the left side of the fairway. We saw some interesting shots. We saw some rollers, we saw some forehands, we saw some backhand placement shots. Curious to see what we're going to see here. Looks like Evan's going with the putter shot for the placement.
Yeah, like I mentioned in round 1, this is a whole design change from last year's American Flying Discs Open, and I really like it, forcing you to do a placement shot and then some kind of technical turnover or forehand shot. And as you see, Evan gets caught up on some of the early trees, so this really rewards people who are really feeling those putter or mid-range shots and placing them in the spot they want to be. So I'm a big fan of this whole change.
agree. I love a good placement shot par 4. Ooh,
Ooh.
flirt with the OB there, but stays safe. Hole 7 did play as our 4th hardest hole of the day, averaging at 4.4.
I could see that with the OB. Any kind of like bad skip or tree hit in your OB, that's automatic par, if not bogey. So I could see this playing pretty difficult.
You can hear him calling for this
Yep.
slowdown, and it checks up just in time, right
That-
before that OB you just mentioned.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to jinx these guys, but yeah, it's. Here's Connor. Nice little putter shot. Oh no. Get back out. No.
Unfortunately, he does get some bad ground play there and skips into that OB we mentioned. And Evan's really just left with another pitch up, trying to get up into the landing zone he was aiming for.
I wonder if he's looking at scores. If he realizes he has a little bit of a lead, that he can just take the par and be okay with it. But either way, if he's looking at scores or not, that's just smart golf.
Oh, bruh.
Trying to keep the lead and not get too crazy aggressive out of position. As we see Love here, try a forehand. Looks like it was just a little too low, but he should be able to get up and down for his par pretty easily.
Little pitch up for Connor there.
Yeah, not much else you can do from this far left side of the fairway here. It's pretty tight. And there's, like we said, there's a bunch of trees down there all just waiting to catch your disc and keep it from getting to the basket. Here's Mason's shot coming in. That looks perfect. Well executed. Yeah, Evan's just taking a par, trying to stick to the game plan. Ooh, do you give that a bid?
Why not?
Why not? Ooh.
A little bit off for Evan. Not a miss we've seen so far, but he'll have to settle with a bogey there.
I think his body language and his reaction are identical if he makes a 60-footer or misses one. He's so chill the whole time. I guess
Locked
focused.
in.
Focused is a better word, yeah.
We did have a good putt there from Connor. We'll see Ty here cleaning it up.
Yeah, good putts from those two. They haven't had the cleanest round so far, so I'm glad to see them making a decent sized putt. Hopefully get that confidence back.
And a good putt from Mason as well.
There's Mason, I believe, for his birdie, right?
Hole 8. This is one of the shortest holes on the course, coming in at 250 feet. It's a par 3. It's really a chip shot, forehand something stable, and try to just land on this hill without too much angle so that you don't dribble down or hit any of those guardian trees.
Yeah, this hole coming in as tied for the easiest hole on the day. So this one is a must get. If you want to score, you got to get this one.
Absolutely, especially for our lead card, and not seeing the reaction we thought we'd see with that disc. It had a kind of straight skip as opposed to skipping up the hill as he would have wanted. Wrong angle. This. Ooh.
Oh, there it is.
There's the roll away.
That's the only real danger on this hole is either your tee shot or like a putt that doesn't go in has a chance of rolling away, and there is OB pretty far to the left, but it's still there. And if you play disc golf, you know that rollers have a mind of their own.
Mm-hmm. That looks good. I'll have a little uphill 15 or 20 footer.
That's why I'm glad these guys made those 20-ish foot putts on the last hole, give them confidence for this uphill one. Because the last thing you want on a putt like this is to not be confident in it.
This looks good. Can it get up there? Of course it does.
That's a beauty.
Beautiful shot.
Does it have the height? Oh, too much height.
Oh, it's so bad.
Good confidence. We
Yep.
like to see that though, and it did stay safe.
There's that OB line behind Mason. You can see it. So if something catches enough angle and rolls, it can absolutely find it. But
Mm-hmm.
yep, good putt by Mason
That's
there.
the confidence. Let's go.
Personally, I'm a big fan of uphill putts. I feel like they're just, I don't know. I like them better because you have like a backstop behind you. But this one doesn't
Just
give that
send-
same feeling. It's it's really scary.
If it's not in the basket, it's most likely rolling. But great putts here,
There we go.
picking up some momentum.
Me? Yeah, it don't matter to me. I'll go.
I'm sure that's what Connor's thinking. But then as he sees Evan just tap in another birdie, it's like, how do you catch this guy? But glad to see Connor making some putts, making some moves. Good cleanup by Ty there.
Mm-hmm. Not bad at all. Heading over into hole 9, we have a 360-foot par 3, just dead straight. 460-foot par 3, I should say. Very different, but still dead straight, low ceiling, and a lot of cabbage on the right and left, some OB to contend with as well. This hole does play slightly downhill, and it does have a little bit of that right to left angle, so you'll see folks going with something a little bit on the flippier side so that they can avoid having it finish too hard on the left-hand side of the fairway.
Yeah, that's the mistake we saw most people make in round 1. It was just flipping stuff too much. But you just want to get something down there and scramble for your par or take a birdie. But Connor seems to go high and also a little turned over, so hopefully he has some kind of lane he can get to the basket to save his par. This needs to come out of it. I didn't see it. So hopefully Evan Smith has a spot to throw at it from too.
Get it basket. Oh, just need a little bit more height to get all the way up there, but that was a well done shot, and this is what Connor has to work with.
I don't know. Love didn't seem to like his tee shot, but it looked dead center compared to these other turned over shots. I feel like his was pretty good. As you see, Connor just kind of army golfing across to the other side of the fairway.
Does stay safe, but unfortunately that'll be a bogey at best for him.
Mason just has this little putter approach,
Yeah, great touch, good control.
nestles it into the bullseye.
Is that Evan we see in the woods there?
Didn't he have the same shot in round 1?
I think so.
I don't know. I get all the cabbage confused with all the other cabbage on the.
Right out.
And
Not that
pins
it
it.
matters. It's beautiful. I don't even know why I'm doubting him
I
anymore.
think that's a smart decision. Yeah, I really wanted to though.
Making some minis there, and there were no birdies on this hole at all on the day.
Good putt there by Rock. Keeping that putting momentum going. Not losing any strokes to anybody.
Sweet.
Can't complain about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no birdies like you said, but a lot of pars. 77% of the field taking a par. So Yeah.
We'll check in on our front nine. Quite the card here from Evan Smith. Lots of green. Connor Rock fighting back. We're seeing a good performance there from Mason and Ty as well. Silas Schultz making a push, tying Evan for the hot round through 9 so far at 5 down. Can he chase him down? Thank you so much for all of our sponsors. This is Emily Dale, joined by Ben Appel. Make sure you go catch the back 9 of round 2 over on Heiser Media's channel, and do all of those YouTube things, like, follow, and subscribe, and come join us.